ایشون جوان هستند، متولد 1982، مسئول کمیته ملیت‌ها در شورای حقوق بشر بدون مرز سوئد هستند. از فعالان حقوق بشر آذربایجانی در ایران هستند. نزدیک به 4 ماه در بازداشتگاه اطلاعات تبریز بودن ایشون. و به 3 سال زندان محکوم شدن. از سال 2009 به عنوان پناهنده سیاسی در سوئد هستند. از همه دوستان تقاضا میکنم که نسبتاً خلاصه صحبت بفرمایند برای اینکه فرصتی برای پرسش پاسخ باشه، به خصوص اگر متخصص ویژه گروه‌های اتنیک تشریف بیارن. بفرمایید.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Ladies and gentlemen, it was my pleasure to be among you and describe my experience in custody of Iran Intelligence Service in Tabriz and also Tabriz Central Prison in order to help to realize the situation goes there. My name is Sajjad Radmehr, an Azerbaijani human rights activist from Iran. In 17th of July 2008, I was arrested by Iran security forces and was taken to a solitary cell in Tabriz. I had been there exactly 98 days and then I was transferred to the central prison of Tabriz, which I was there for 8 days. We were 9 students who were active as a group of Azerbaijani students movement seeking cultural and civil rights for Azerbaijani people in Iran. During the detention period in the Iran Intelligence Service, which is called Ettelaat, we just had a couple of short telephone conversations with our family to say just I'm okay and don't worry. If one tried to say one thing more, the phone would become off. The interrogation process was often with beating, in the form that the interrogator who was sitting behind and my eyes were blindfolded with a cloth in such a way that I could just see the paper in front of me, and he was hitting me with fists and slapping in the way that I was sometimes falling down from the chair. In such circumstances, he was often taking my hair and hit my head to the wall, asking the question about, for example, my association with the foreign intelligence services. The duration of interrogation was various and irregular. Sometimes it was continuing for more than 20 hours, and sometimes it was 15 days without questioning, that I was just walking in the cell, wishing to hear the torturer voice again, just for a little change. I forgot to mention that the cell was a little room of 2 by 1.5 meter without window and with an iron door. Another type of torture, which was implemented by guards, not by interrogator, was the so-called Gapani handcuff, which the hands were pulled back to the behind, one hand from down and another one from the top, so that made the wrist come to touch each other in this way. In this situation, they wanted me to stand only on one leg for hours, and if my both legs touched the floor, they would beat me violently by buttons. Once, after a day with Gapani handcuff, my thumb had become numb. I requested to show it to a doctor, but they took me to the toilet, showing the needle, and threatened me to dig it into my hand if I asked about the doctor again. Swearing at my family and to threaten to arrest my sisters were the ordinary words that the interrogator were always using. While I normally had a shower every week there, one time I was being deprived of that for a month, and it was incredibly unbearable. After about 80 days in the cell, I had got a serious mental problem, which I later understood that it was schizophrenia. I sometimes hear that somebody was talking to me, and it seems that there was another person with me in the cell. It was so severe that when later I met the other friends in the prison, I told them I was becoming a prophet. After Itlaat custody, I was with my friends in the central prison of Tabriz. Because there was no special section for political prisoner, so they had put them, my friends, in the section of murder and addict convicts. Fortunately, I was kept in the section which was for financial criminals, and although there were a lot of hygiene problems, shortage of bed, and the deprivation of telephone calls, books, and newspapers, at least it was more bearable than to be threatened or to be actually raped in the murderers section. Now, after 4 years, I still have recurring nightmare about the moments I experienced in the cell. My hands always tremble, and I have to take medicine to adjust my heart beating. It was the account of my personal experience in detention. However, I am aware that situation has become worse and worse since then. Thanks for your consideration.